First Kings chapter 11. King Solomon loved women. He loved many women that were not from the nation of Israel. This included the daughter of Pharaoh, Hittite women, and women from Moab, Ammon, Edom, and Sidon. In the past, the Lord had said to the people of Israel, "You must not marry the people from other nations. If you do, then those people will cause you to follow their gods." But Solomon fell in love with these women. Solomon had 700 wives. These women were all daughters of leaders from other nations. He also had 300 slave women that were like wives to him. His wives caused him to turn away from God. When Solomon was old, his wives caused him to follow other gods. Solomon did not follow the Lord completely the way that his father David had done. Solomon worshipped Ashtoreth. This was the god of the people of Sidon. And Solomon worshipped Milcom. This was that horrible idol of the Ammonite people. Solomon did wrong before the Lord. Solomon did not follow the Lord completely the way his father David had done. Solomon built a place for worshipping camels. Camels was that horrible idol of the Moabite people. Solomon built that worship place on a hill next to Jerusalem. On that same hill, Solomon built a worship place for Molech. Molech was that horrible idol of the Ammonite people. Then Solomon did the same thing for all of his wives from other countries. His wives burned incense and gave sacrifices to their idols, to their gods. Solomon turned away from following the Lord, the God of Israel. So the Lord became angry at Solomon. The Lord had come to Solomon twice. The Lord told Solomon that he must not follow other gods, but Solomon did not obey the Lord's command. So the Lord said to Solomon, "You have chosen to break your agreement with me. You have not obeyed my commands. So I promise that I will tear your kingdom away from you. I will give it to one of your servants. But I love your father David, so I will not take your kingdom away from you while you are living. I will wait until your son becomes king. Then I will take it from him. Still, I will not tear away all of the kingdom from your son. I will leave him one family group to rule. I will do this for David. He was a good servant. And I will also do this for Jerusalem. I choose that city. From the family of the king of Edom, this is how it happened. Earlier, David defeated Edom. Joab was the commander of David's army. Joab went into Edom to bury dead people. Joab killed all the men still living there. Joab and all Israel stayed in Edom for 6 months. During that time, they killed all of the men of Edom. But at that time, Hadad was only a young boy. So Hadad ran away to Egypt. Some of his father's servants went with him. They left Midian and went to Paran. In Paran, some other people joined them. Then the whole group went to Egypt. They went to Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, and asked for help. Pharaoh gave Hadad a house and some land. Pharaoh also supported him and gave him food to eat. Pharaoh liked Hadad very much. Pharaoh gave Hadad a wife. The woman was Pharaoh's sister-in-law. Pharaoh's wife was Queen Tapenes. So the sister of Tahpenes married Hadad. They had a son named Ginubad. Queen Tahpenes allowed Genubad to grow up in Pharaoh's house with his children. In Egypt, Hadad heard that David had died. He also heard that Joab, the commander of the army, was dead. So Hadad said to Pharaoh, "Let me go home to my own country." But Pharaoh answered, "I have given you everything you need here. Why do you want to go back to your own country?" Hadad answered, "Please just let me go home." God also caused another man to be an enemy against Solomon. This man was Rezon, son of Eliada. Rezon ran away from his master. His master was Hadadezer, king of Zobah. After David defeated the army of Jobab, Rezon gathered some men and became the leader of a small army. Rezon went to Damascus and stayed there. Rezon became the king of Damascus. Rezon ruled Aram. Rezon hated Israel. So he continued to be an enemy of Israel all of the time that Solomon lived. Rezon and Hadad caused much trouble for Israel. Jeroboam, son of Nebat, was one of Solomon's servants. Jeroboam was from the family group of Ephraim. He was from the town of Jeredah. Jeroboam's mother was named Jeruah. His father was dead. He turned against the king. This is the story of why Jeroboam turned against the king. Solomon was building the Millo and fixing the wall of the city of David his father. Jeroboam was a strong man. Solomon saw that his young man was a good worker. So Solomon made him the boss over all of the workers from the family group of Joseph. One day Jeroboam was traveling out of Jerusalem. Ahijah the prophet from Shiloh met him on the road. Ahijah was wearing a new coat. These two men were alone in the country. Ahijah took his new coat and tore it into 12 pieces. Then Ahijah said to Jeroboam, "Take 10 pieces of this coat for yourself. The Lord, the God of Israel, says, I will tear the kingdom away from Solomon, and I will give you 10 of the family groups, and I will allow David's family to control only one family group. I will let them keep this group. I will do this for my servant David and for Jerusalem. Jerusalem is the city which I choose from all the family groups of Israel. I will take the kingdom from Solomon because he stopped following me. He worshipped Ashtoreth, the false goddess in Sidon. He worships Chemosh, the false god of Moab, and he worships Milcom, the false god of the Ammonites. Solomon stopped doing the things that are right and good. He does not obey my laws and my commands. He is not living the way that his father David lived. So I will take the kingdom away from Solomon's family, but I will let Solomon be their ruler for the rest of his life. I will do this for my servant David. I choose David because he obeyed all my commands and laws, but I will take the kingdom away from his son. And Jeroboam, I will allow you to rule over the 10 family groups. I will allow Solomon's son to continue to rule over one family group. I will do this so that my servant David will always have a descendant to rule before me in Jerusalem, the city that I choose to be my own. But I will make you rule over everything you want. You will rule over all of Israel. I will do these things for you if you will live right and obey all my commands. If you obey the laws and commands like David, then I will be with you. I will make your family a family of kings, like I did for David. I will give Israel to you. I will punish David's children because of the things Solomon did, but I will not punish them forever. Solomon tried to kill Jeroboam, but Jeroboam ran away to Egypt. He went to Shishak, the king of Egypt. Jeroboam stayed there until Solomon died. Solomon did many great things and wise things while he ruled. All of these things are written in the book of the history of Solomon. Solomon ruled in Jerusalem over all Israel for 40 years. Then Solomon died and was buried with his ancestors. He was buried in the city of David, his father. Then Solomon's son Rehoboam became the next king after him. This is the word of God, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you everyone for coming. See you all soon.